Elsewhere in Texas, Jadeveon Clowney is still not with the Texans, hasn't signed his tender, has even met with the Miami Dolphins. Where is this one going?
This one could go into the regular season as well. And I know a lot of people are looking at this saying, is Jadeveon Clowney really going to punt on $1 million per week and sit out a game or two or three or whatever? Yeah, at least according to what he has told other people. I've had some conversations with folks who have spoken to Clowney recently, and they said he is willing to drag this into the regular season. Now, it's not a contract thing. It's not like he can do a long-term deal. It's more about the fact that he has communicated to people that he is hurt by the fact that the Texans are even entertaining trade offers and allowing him to speak to the Dolphins, and the fact that they really haven't even approached a long-term deal as far as those conversations with him. So Clowney wants to make sure that he's in the right situation, and as soon as he signs that tender, they can trade him. So if this goes into the regular season, I would not be shocked.
A career crossroads for the former #1 pick. Check back in with you again later. Mike, for now, I'd like to get a player's take on this. James Jones and Willie McGinnis, who knows Clowney pretty well, the entire Texans organization, frankly. Sitting out games, would that be a smart play for him?
Well, I mean, a lot of people are taking a stance to get their money, and I can't tell him whether to do it or not. In my opinion, I would say no. $16 million is a lot of money. You cannot make that money up. The other thing is these players start to think about their future. Like, if I come in and I get hurt, then it probably won't be a long-term deal. What my opinion is, and I'm just saying this is my opinion, and all the information that I have gathered, there will not be a long-term deal coming out of the Houston Texans organization. So in saying that, now you're looking for somebody to trade for. Is there a market? Is there another team that's going to pay him what he thinks his value is? Over $16 million plus, which is the franchise tag for Clowney services. I'm not sure. If it wasn't in place before all this took, I don't think it's in place right now.
No team can sign him to a long-term deal right now. So he's going to play on the tender, the one-year deal, if he plays at all for anybody. The question is, I guess, if you want to play and not sit out, then are the Texans the team that you want to put on tape, right? You're playing with them, trying to get a long-term deal, or do you want to go somewhere where you might get that long-term deal from that franchise?
I mean, at the end of the day, you made a very good point, Lynch. You have to play. I mean, either you're going to play for the Texans or you're going to go somewhere else and play for them. But at the end of the day, you still can't get a long-term deal. So at the same time, why would you want to go somewhere and play for, say, the Miami Dolphins, who's probably not going to win a lot of ball games this year? Or you can go, you know the defense, go back home, play with the Texans, and have a good year. But I do not see him leaving $16 million on the table. Willie, you talk about taking care of your family in your life. $16 million will take care of your family pretty good. And it'll be crazy for him to leave it out there. And then you got to put in the fact that he one season, 16 games, he's been hurt, he's been banged up, hasn't had double-digit sacks. So for me, he still has a lot to prove, not only to the Texans, but to the rest of the league.
Worth pointing out, though, him not signing his tender to this point, that's the leverage he has to maybe get traded to a team that he wants to go to. If he doesn't want to go to as soon as he signs that tender, they could trade him wherever they want.
But he might not like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, but I'm saying the longer he waits, he could say, they might say, like, okay, who could we send you to get this thing done so that we get something in return? Maybe that's his leverage at this point.
That money starts to get taken away, though, after week 1 starts. So remember, the money starts going away. So that's $16 million.
That's a good point, too. Yeah. Steelers fans, are you dealing with a little PTSD listening to this conversation?